How's it going, everyone? My name is Michael SK, and welcome back to Steins Gate Zero. We've gone full circle. In the last episode, we pretty much started off with a scene like this. And now for this episode, we're starting off with a scene where we're in front of Daru, Suzuha, and we're in the middle of the search for... I've already forgotten her name. Kagari, I think is her name? Mayuri's adopted daughter from the future that came with Suzuha. That's basically where we're at right now. We did a little bit of searching, asked for some help, didn't really make any progress at all. So we'll see what we can do here. When I got back to the lab, I saw that Daru was completely exhausted. There was no need to even ask. It was obvious that he hadn't found a single clue. Suzuha had been doing this for over half a year, so her face didn't betray her emotions anymore. Daru didn't even bother asking me how it went. He could probably tell from the look on my face.
考えてみたらさ、これまでだって鈴葉がそれなりに探してたわけでさ、それを僕ら素人が今更また蒸し返したところで新しい発見なんてあるわけないんだよな。
Daru said what I'd been thinking, but trying not to say.
手伝ってくれてありがとう。これ以上無理はしなくていい。捜索は私だけで続行するよ。
Excuse me, was taking a drink there. It's not Dr. Pepper. I'm sorry, I'm betraying everyone. Suzuha evidently had no intention of giving up.
いや、ちょっと待って鈴葉。僕が言いたいのはさ、
父さんたちに無理させるわけにもいかないから。かがりの件は私の責任なんだし。
バカ言うなよ。子供の責任は親の責任だろ、上皇。
父さん。
ね、今のどう？かなりパパっぽかったと思うんだけど、なんならパパ大好きって言って抱きついてくれてもいいのだぜ。
Watching these two always gave me a strange feeling. For a while after they first met, they were complete strangers. And now they were father and child. And age-wise, they were exactly the same. Maybe I could understand how Suzuha was feeling, but I had no idea what Daru was going through.
とにかく僕が言いたいのは、ただむやみやたらに探したところでダメだろってこと。
じゃあどうしろと言うんだ？
餅は餅屋って言うでしょ。こういうのはやっぱ専門家に頼むのが一番だと思うんだよね。
専門家？
こういうのはある程度裏の世界の情報にも精通してる人に頼むのが一番だろ、上皇。
I realized he'd come up with the same idea I had. My head hurt.
心当たりがあるの？
ち、父さんを甘く見ないでほしいな。僕はオタだけど顔は広いのだぜ。
Oh, lovely.
横幅も広いけどな。
茶化すなっつーの。
っていうか、本気で言ってるのか？本気で裏の世界の人間とやらにつながりがあると？
ちょっと連絡取ってみる。
Before Suzuha or I could respond, he took out his phone and started typing a message to someone. Was he serious? And was text messaging the preferred way to get in touch with the criminal underworld?
どう思う？おじさん。
実際にそういう人物が本当にいるのなら頼んでみてもいいとは思うが。
In fairness, being a hacker was a pretty underworld sort of occupation too. If I knew someone like him, it was quite possible that the person he knew, or he said he knew, really existed.
よし、送信と。あとは返信が来れば。お？
もう返事が来たの？
今からそっちに向かいますって。
Oh no. I already have an idea of who it is.
随分と話が早い相手だな。
There's only one person that I could think of from this franchise so far that could type and respond that fast.
遅いよりはいいんじゃね?
And that was true. Dadu was sending another message. He was probably telling her where we were. Now all we had to do was wait for her arrival. And then the phone rang. Not Dadu's phone, my phone. Was it Kirisu again? I picked it up, and it was Lukako. That was rare. When he wanted to talk to me, he always went through Mayuri, or sent a message via text or Rhyme. Well, I guess let's pick it up.
もしもし、ルカ子か？
あ、岡部さん。すみません。今、大丈夫ですか？
おう、どうした？
実は、僕、岡部さんに相談したいことがあって。
相談？
今からお会いしてもらえないでしょうか？
I guess.
今から。電話じゃ言いにくいことなのか？
はい、少し。
Right now? Would it be okay to leave this to Dadu and Suzuha?
悪い。これから客が来ることになっているんだ。
I was interested to see what kind of person Dadu's friend was.
そうですか。
その後からじゃダメか？
その後は僕も用事があって。
そうか。
それじゃあ。
Just as Lukako was about to say something... I heard sharp footsteps coming up the stairs. And then a knock.
はい、どうぞ。
悪いルカ子、お客が来たようだ。後で連絡を。
And then I stopped. The person who opened the door... It's gotta be Moeka. It was...
こいつ、また。
Yeah, it's Moeka. Yep. It was Moeka Kiryu. I hadn't seen her since the ATF seminar.
岡部さん、どうしたんですか？岡部さん。
Yikes.
お茶どうぞ。
Moeka was silent, with her head tilted slightly forward. Seeing her caused a dull ache within me, like my heart was being squeezed dry.
どうして？
Why was she here with Dadu? I had any number of doubts in my mind.
どうしたん、オカリン？
いや。
I really don't understand, I really don't know what their relationship is. I've gone through so many fucking world lines, and with our trip from Alpha to Beta, I don't exactly know if they even know each other, to be quite honest. Moeka tilted her head a bit to the side, and I quickly averted my eyes. There was no connection between CERN and us anymore. So she wasn't going to kill Mayuri. Hopefully. She wasn't going to kill Mayuri. She wasn't going to kill Mayuri. She wasn't going to kill her. I said it to myself over and over again and finally started to relax.
おじさん、顔色悪いよ。大丈夫？
Nah, that's just our normal look nowadays.
気にしないでくれ。それよりもダル、説明してくれ。
ああ、この人は桐生氏。ヘンプロのライターさんだよ。
桐生萌香です。
She silently handed me her business card, which had the name of a company called Arc Rewrite on it. Daru gave a brief explanation to me and Suzuha.
なあダル、お前はどうしてこの人と知り合いに？
前にさ、桐生氏の担当してる雑誌で秋葉関係の都市伝説を扱った特集があったんだよね。その時に僕のバイトのこと取材したいって申し出があってさ。僕のバイトってほら、あんま大きな声で言えないやつっしょ。だから取材に関しては丁重にお断りしたんだけど、ただ僕って普段から足がつかないようにかなり注意してるんだよね。なのに桐生氏はその僕にたどり着いた。それが気になって、で会ってみたらこの通り、すげえ美人さんだったわけだ。都市伝説を追う美人ライターとか燃えざるを得ないだろう、上皇。
Sure, why not? And that's how they'd met. Suzuha was frowning as she saw how Daru acted around Moeka. She didn't say anything, but I could tell she was thinking that he'd be better off directing his attentions toward her mom. Moeka, for her part, seemed completely uninterested in Daru. She was wearing her usual poker face and fiddling with her phone. She's still using a Japanese feature phone instead of a smartphone, huh? Well, okay, it's just been a few months since the events of Steins Gate. If they were using flip phones all over the place then, why would it be necessary to switch to smartphones a few months later?
まあ専門ってわけじゃないけど、秋葉についてはかなり詳しいみたいだし、結構裏の方の事情も知ってるっぽいから頼んでみるのもありかなって。
人探し、そう聞いた。
実はね、12年前に秋葉でいなくなった女の子を探してほしいんだお。
Daru told Moeka Kiryu the basic story. She was dead silent the whole time, but she typed his words into her phone with incredible speed. She'd be great as one of those people that pretty much write down or type the entire, like everything in terms of conversation and speech in a courtroom. So if there's a case going on, anything that anyone says is just typed down or typed in. It is recorded. She'd be perfect for that. She was once a rounder. I don't even think I read that last message, my bad. She probably still was. Honestly, I would say yes. To be able to track down Daru like she was able to, and the whole urban legend thing, I want to say is related to the IBN, so I'm sure she's with the rounders, unfortunately. Was it okay to trust her? Was it just a coincidence that I'd run into her here? I knew that in my head, but my heart just refused to accept it. Here in the Beta World line, we'd never encountered Moeka Kiryu before. Of course, we hadn't. I had chosen the Beta World line so that we wouldn't. Even though the cost was Kirisu, or Makise Kirisu's life. Gotta say it correctly.
つまり、その椎名鏡という人を探せばいいの。
そういうこと。どうかな。
やってみてもいい。
マジ？
でも見つかるかはわからない。
もちろん、その場合はしょうがないよ。
Normally, Moeka and I would never have run into each other like this. Of course, we might have crossed paths in Akihabara. We almost ran into each other when she'd come to interview Dr. Leskinen and Maho at the ATF seminar. But I'd convinced myself that we were never going to meet each other directly. Was this fate? Were she and I fated to cross paths at some point? If that was the case, maybe it was better not to try to avoid her, but to watch her, to see what she did. As I listened to Daru talk to her, that was what I started to think. Excuse me there.
じゃあ報酬は成功報酬で。 その他の必要経費はこっちで持つってことで OK？
問題ない。
オカリンも鈴葉もそれでいい？
私は手伝ってもらえるなら文句はない。
俺も構わない。
じゃあ契約成立ってことで一つ。
Alright. Moeka nodded slightly, and then asked us for information about Kagari that might be a clue. Stuff like the clothes she was wearing when she disappeared, and what she looked like. After that, she left. All the tension suddenly drained from my body as I sank into the sofa.
おじさん、本当に大丈夫？
No.
大丈夫だ。少し緊張しただけだから。
It was a little late, but I took some anxiety meds out of my pocket and swallowed them.
おじさん、さっきの桐生萌香って人のこと知ってたんだね。
え？
She could tell? I think anyone could.
マジで？オカリンいつの間に？
どうしてそう思ったんだ？
見ていればわかるよ。
I guess you have to be pretty sharp to survive on the battlefield.
いや、知らない人だ。
アルファ世界線では知ってた？わかった。これ以上は聞かないけど、私なりに警戒はしておくよ。
Yeah, we fought her, like literally. We held her down, pinned her down and everything for hours straight in the Alpha World line. That was an interesting scene.
それでいい。今はな。
一体何のこと？
緊張したっていうことさ。
わかるわ。桐生氏は美人で巨乳でスタイル抜群でメガネ属性まで持ってるもんな。しょうがない。
そうだな。
I guess we'll roll with the Dadu there. If she was a part of my life now, I would just have to use her as best as I could. Maybe it was because she was gone now, or maybe it was because of the anxiety meds, but I'd calmed down enough to start thinking that way. Of course, who knew if I'd feel the same way the next time I saw her face to face? Yeah, that's a good point. Oh, we gotta go see Maho. She seems to be, working, maybe? I don't know. The Japanese office of the Global Brain Science Comprehensive Research Organization in Wako City, Saitama. What a name. Maho Hyajo had tried her best to hold back a yawn, but in the end she'd given up and opened her mouth so wide it covered well over half her face. Yep, that was me like 90 times today. One reason was that she'd gotten caught up in talking to Kirisu last night, and only ended the conversation after it was late into the night. At first, they'd been discussing the research and experiments she'd been doing, but at some point she'd gotten sidetracked, into talking about Okabe Rintaro. Evidently, he'd been ignoring calls from Kirisu for the last few days. Kirisu was much madder at him than she was when he'd ignored her the first 8 times. It was the first sign of femininity that she'd ever seen from Makise Kirisu. It was cute enough that Maho couldn't help but take the chance to get back at her for all the teasing she'd always did. She'd ended up staying up a lot later than she'd intended. And since she was too energized to sleep by that point, she'd gotten out Kirisu's old laptop. She'd started to fiddle with it to see if there was some way to crack the password, and the next thing she knew, it was morning.
パスワードね。やっぱりプロにでも頼んだ方がいいのかしら。
何の話だい？
She suddenly heard a voice behind her and almost jumped out of her chair.
そんなに驚くことないじゃないか。
This fucking guy. Like, I like this guy and everything, but Jesus Christ.
教授戻ってたんですか？
It's something about his design that just really throws me off, and I love it.
ついさっきね。
He raised up his hands and showed her some plastic bags from a nearby convenience store. He'd left to go get lunch just 10 minutes ago, and she'd been sure he wouldn't be back for a while.
それにしても日本のコンビニは食べ物の種類がいっぱいで本当に素晴らしいね。毎日違う弁当を食べても1週間もすればすぐに新しい弁当が出る。しかも店によっても味が違うから毎日コンビニでも飽きないよ。
コンビニのお弁当ばかり食べていると栄養偏りますよ。
それでもアメリカの食事に比べればかなりヘルシーだよ。
Oh, I believe it. A lot of things here in America are fucking unhealthy.
第一、食事についてのお説教だけは魔法には言われたくないね。
He was right. Nutrition wasn't an important consideration for Maho. In fact, she ate mostly cereal and meal replacement shakes, which made her diet very unhealthy. Man, you guys should hear about my diet. I don't usually eat throughout the entire day. Like, I'll eat something extremely small for breakfast, if anything. Go the entire day without eating. And then, I guess, eat something along the lines of a meal, like maybe half a meal or something. I don't know. I feel like my diet is completely unhealthy. So if I die in the next year or so, now you guys know why.
ところで何をプロに頼むって？
あれはなんでもないです。なんでも。
It wouldn't bother her if Leskinen found out, but for some reason she suddenly decided not to tell him.
そうかい？私でできることなら力になるよ。
ありがとうございます。その時はお願いします。
She stood up and headed for the door.
魔法、どこへ行くんだい？
気分転換も兼ねて秋葉原に行こうかと。
気分転換で行くにしては随分遠いね。ウィンターローに会いに行くと素直に言えば許可しよう。
You are so off on his pronunciation, or the pronunciation of his name. Jesus Christ. And I like it.
そんなんじゃ。
違うのかい？
ついでに会いに行ってもいいですけど。
Okabe had a laboratory in Akihabara. Kirisu had told her that last night. She'd said something about how he'd been avoiding it for a long time and only recently started going there again. Maho was a little interested in it too.
言っときますけど違いますからね。そういうのじゃないですからね。
私はまだ何も言ってないよ。
というわけで今日は研究は休みます。
ウィンターローによろしく。
Man, that guy is chill. First Kirisu and now the professor. Why did they keep trying to make everything about romance?
っていうか、ああいうのもセクハラよね。今の世の中じゃ。
Nah, it's just teasing, come on. We're all friends. I think. For one thing, she wasn't going to Okabe's lab just to visit him. She wanted to see him again and see if she could get any hints about the password. He had said he didn't know, but he'd probably be able to come up with more than she could on her own. That was what she had thought after seeing how he interacted with Amadeus. You could call it a woman's intuition, and let me tell you, those intuitions are something else. And I mean that. She was thinking about that when she changed trains and got off at Akihabara Station. Yeah, this is a long walk. She felt like someone was watching her and spun around. It was a weekday, but the station was crowded. She looked around all the people, but none of them seemed to be paying her much attention.
気のせいよね。
I've got a bad feeling. She whispered to no one in particular as she started to walk again. Kirisu had told her the location of the future gadget lab. She wasn't that familiar with the layout of Akihabara, but if she needed to, she could ask for directions or, Google map it. But what if she came in unannounced and Okabe wasn't there? That bothered her a little, but she decided she could just leave if that happened. Her eyes lingered on the junk parts lined up in the bins at the shops as she walked when... She felt someone looking at her again. But when she turned around, she still didn't see anyone. That is interesting. She started walking again, then went around a corner into an alley. And then she was sure of it. Footsteps. She could hear them behind her. Of course, that was nothing special. She would often be out walking at night and hear footsteps behind her. She'd speed up her pace, only to see an irritated man walk past a moment later. But this time, for some reason, she was sure it wasn't that. She decided to try walking faster and found the footsteps went faster too. When she went slower, so did they. Whenever she saw a scene like this in a movie, she imagined that she just kicked the guy in the face. Now that it was actually happening, she was too scared to turn around. Like, I can get that. It's like when you think you'll do something, but when the moment comes to do that thing, you kind of just chicken out. She fumbled for the phone in her pocket. The idea of calling the police never occurred to her. The only thing she thought of was the name of the man she was trying to meet. She picked it out of her call history and pressed the button with trembling fingers.
お願い。
The footsteps overlapped with the sound of the ringing.
岡部さん、助けて。
The footsteps were almost on top of her. Just when she couldn't take it anymore and was about to start running.
もしもし
She heard a voice coming from the other side of the phone.
もしもし、岡部さん。私、ヒア城です。今、あなたのラボのすぐ近くまで。
Oh no. But she didn't get to say another word. By the time she'd realized that someone had grabbed her from behind, the phone had already slipped from her hands. Well, that's not good. Back to Okabe we go.
これは
I asked Moeka Kiryu. As I took the papers, she'd offer me silently. She contacted Daru just 10 minutes ago and told him she was on her way to the lab. And she'd arrived right at the time she said she would. She must have been very close when she'd contacted him. What was she going to do if no one was here?
報告書。
Evidently, it was a report about her investigation thus far. The stack of papers was shaking a little in my hands. I still felt some unease when Moeka was in my presence. Maybe it was just because of the anxiety meds I'd taken right after right after she'd said she was coming. I am really fucking up my pronunciations today. But I was still doing a lot better than yesterday.
どう？おじさん。
やっぱりそう簡単に見つかるもんじゃないな。
そう。
She must have been expecting something, at least a little. There was an obvious tone of disappointment in her voice.
かがり。どこで何してるんだろう。
With no way to answer her, I just silently flipped through the pages of the report.
どうしたんオカリン？なんか有力な手がかりでもあったん？
いや、そういうわけじゃないんだが。
見せて。
I handed the report over to Suzuha without complaint. I pointed to the part that interested me with my finger.
調査の中で一つ興味深い事実が浮かび上がった。この 1,2 ヶ月の間で椎名かがりという名の女性を探している人物が私たち以外にも存在するらしいということ。
Well, that's fantastic. That makes everything even
ど
greater.
ういうこと？
読んだままの通り。
Which meant... My phone started ringing before I could finish the thought. The caller was Maho Hyojo. This was an important discussion. I just have to call her back in 5 minutes. Nope, we're getting that right now. Normally I'd just ignore her call and call later, but...
悪い。ちょっといいか。
For some reason I had to answer. That's what it felt like.
もしもし。
もしもし岡部さん、私ヒヤジョです。
She sounded on the verge of panic, and my voice naturally rose to match hers.
どうしたヒヤジョさん。
今、あなたのラボのすぐ近くまで。
Immediately afterward, I heard what sounded like a struggle, and then something hitting something else.
ヒヤジョさんヒヤジョさんどうした？
And then there was only silence.
オカリン？何かあったん？
From the tone of her voice, it was obvious something bad had happened.
知り合いが誰かに襲われてる。
マジ？知り合いって誰？
But I didn't stay to answer his question. I grabbed the nearest thing that could serve as a weapon and ran out the lab. She said she was close to the lab. But where? If she was coming from the station and had chosen a route that not many people would go down, she was probably... the alley directly in front of the lab. I saw someone there. They were tall and slender, and I could see a tiny silhouette struggling behind them. That was... I knew it. The only girl I knew that size was Maho.
やめて、話してってば。
This actually doesn't look as crazy as I thought it did. Someone had grabbed her and she was trying to desperately escape.
ヒヤジョさん。
The person who was holding her turned in surprise at my voice.
女？
Yeah, I honestly wasn't expecting a woman. It was only then that I realized it was a woman, and that she wasn't Japanese.
岡部さん。
おいヒヤジョさんを離せ。
Did she not understand me? No, but she should have been able to guess what I was getting at.
その子を離せ。
I tried to strike a threatening pose with the weapon in my hand. I finally realized that what I had brought was the Siloom saber. Still, it would serve as a bluff.
もう一度言うぞ。その子を。
違うの、岡部さん。
It wasn't? It wasn't like what? The woman let go of Maho and smiled. She walked towards me with her arms open wide.
Are you Maho's boyfriend?
はあ？
Before I could ask what was going on, she'd wrapped her hands around my back and given me a firm hug. Was she gonna pick us up too?
だから違うって言ってるのに。
I had no idea what the hell was going on, but the two soft objects pressed into my chest kept me from moving. Yeah, that's the only thing, huh?
それじゃあこの人はヒヤジョさんの知り合いなのか？
ごめ 私が早とちりしたせいで。
I'm Judy. Judy Reyes. Pleasure meeting you, Mr. Okabe.
Yeah. The woman named Judy Reyes offered me her hand, her broad smile like the sun itself.
Nice to meet you.
日本語でいいわよ。
What? Why the fuck did they do that then?
教授って日本語喋れたんですか？
Professor?
ええ、実はね。
知らなかった。でもどうして？
女も私くらいの年になるといろいろあるのよ。
Her mischievous wink looked pretty good on her.
それじゃあ改めて。ジュディ・レイエスよ。よろしくね。
I returned her handshake.
岡部倫太郎です。
レイエス教授は今度日本で開かれる AI 関係の学会に出席するために来日したんですって。
教授っていうことはビクトル・コンドリア大学の
サイコフィシオロジーを研究してるわ。
サイコフィ
精神生理学のことよ。つまり脳の活動によってもたらされる心の働きとか心の病気なんかについての研究をされているの。そういう意味では私たちの研究よりもずっと人の役に立つ研究をされていると言っていいかもしれないわね。
そんなことないわ。あなたたちのアマデウスだってこれからの発展次第では十分に役に立つ技術になるわよ。
そう言っていただけると嬉しいです。
In short, Dr. Reyes had happened to see Maho on the streets of Akihabara and had decided to surprise her by grabbing her from behind.
でもレイエス教授も人が悪いですよ。駅からつけてくるなんて。
つける？魔法？私が？
ええ、後ろをついてきてましたよね、ずっと。
そんなことしてないわ。私はさっきそこのショップでたまたま魔法を見つけたからちょっと驚かそうと思っただけよ。
Oh no.
え？
Maho had only just relaxed when Dr. Reyes' answer drained her face of its color.
ヒアジョーさんつけられていたのか？
ええ、確かにそう感じたんだけど。
レイエス教授、誰か怪しい人物を見かけたりは？
Dr. Reyes denied it with that unique shrug that foreigners always do. Ah, yes. I know exactly what he's talking about. I looked back over the alley, but of course, I didn't see anyone.
じゃあ私の勘違いだったのかしら。
I would still keep your guard up.
きっとそうだわ。だって日本は世界一治安のいい国でしょ。
Alright. Was it?
魔法はこの後どうするの？
私は
Reyes seemed to sense something in Maho's silence.
なるほど、そういうこと。それじゃあ私は行くわね。リンタルもそのうちゆっくり話しましょう。バイ。
Alright. She gave me a meaningful wink as she left. Meaningful, huh? The station was in the opposite direction. Should I have said something? I got a strange sense that she was feeling me out, but it seemed like a waste of time to resist. Sure, alright.
というわけで彼女がヒアジョーさんだ。ほら前にセミナーで会ったって話したことがあっただろ。
Well, I guess we get to introduce Maho to the gang, I think. And we'll do that next time since we're out of time. So thanks for watching this one, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. It was pretty interesting, to say the least. So yeah, we have about 8 hours in. Pretty nice. Trying my best to, you know, not make this that long of a playthrough, but we all know it's going to happen. So apologies in advance. Well, I've been thinking about it actually. Maybe, just maybe. So I'm saying at the end of this, I'm gonna say this at the end of this episode, just because it's not, a concrete thing. But I've been thinking about after a certain amount of episodes, I'll probably start doing the 1 hour ones again. But only if I have the time. I still don't have the time, so I really can't do them. We'll see what happens. But yeah, thanks for watching this one, guys. And like, subscribe, and I will see you all in the next episode. Take it easy.